Hey guys, today I want to talk about should you move to a major expat area or to a smaller expat area, or just stay away from expats totally. Now, this is a choice a lot of expats have to make. A lot of people like being around expats. I'm kind of mixed feelings, now that I started this. Some days I love being around the expats. I love being around the great expats. But the expats that come here and cause problems certainly cause a lot of problems, and it can be a lot of grief, and it just wears on you sometimes. And sometimes you feel like just being left alone and being around Filipinos more. And Filipinos can also have their own drama too. And it's something that you kind of have to make a choice about. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because one of the subscribers brought up that and said that I trash Dumaguete a lot, and I really don't. I mention about it sometimes during the live streams that I do not like Dumaguete, and I have good reason for that. Even though I have not been there, and I will admit that I have not been there. I have plenty of friends that are down there. They tell me about the issues down there, and I'm not talking about the vloggers. I know people that have been down there, and as soon as they went down there, they left. They did not like the politics. They did not like the place. They didn't like the people down there. And then I've had a couple people that did like it down there. So I mean, it can go either way. And I want to put that out there that, don't go off what I say. You need to make your own, test on the place. Just test out the area and see if you like it, But here's the reason why I do not like Dumaguete, or Angeles for that matter. And there's a few other places out there I would stay away from. Any place that is a major expat area, usually you got problems. And a lot of people don't see those problems because they're lucky enough that they haven't been dragged into those problems. Well, when these people that are subscribers of mine get into trouble or something like that, they usually call me, or if they're having problems with an expat, Steve, how would you handle this? And usually I tell them, hey, you need to talk to an attorney about this, because some of the stuff is attorney material. Some of the stuff is something that can be solved at a local barangay. Some of it has to be done at a PMP, or sometimes you have to go 3 times to the barangay and then go to the PMP afterwards if it can't be resolved. And then you can file charges against them or whatever. Now, I've got a lot of calls for Dumaguete about, Steve, how should I handle this? Can I talk to an attorney? I'm having problems with a neighbor. I'm having problems with a expat that I rent off of or whatever. Or I'm having problems with this guy here. He's doing this to me and he won't stop. He won't leave me alone. What do I do? And I just tell him to contact an attorney. And Dumaguete, I've gotten quite a few calls from, and also from Angeles, I've gotten probably about 3 or 4 calls. Angeles, I think, is more peaceful up there, although they have their drama and their problems up there too. And don't get me wrong on that, our area does too. Okay, so I'm going to put that out there straight out. All places have their drama and their issues. Okay, all of them do. And I've heard, and we've been going through some issues here, even now we have off and on for quite a while, and when I talk to people down south, some of the people down there that are vloggers and not vloggers tell me the same thing, that they have problems too, and it can be kind of a turnoff for the country sometimes for a lot of people, and some people just up and leave and go back home. They say, man, I traded all my crap back home for this crap over here. I don't think I'm going to deal with it. Or they look for another country or whatever. They go to Thailand or whatever. And that happens too. And they go to Cambodia or someplace else, maybe Japan or something. We've had people, two guys left for Japan. I think it was about 2 years ago. They said they were both going to Japan and see if they could do something there. And I've never heard from them again after that, so it must have worked out. But, I don't want to turn people off from these places, because some of these places are really good. There are people that go down to Dumaguete and they love Dumaguete. They love up in Angeles, if that's your cup of tea. They love Baguio. They love these places. I myself am lucky enough that I live in an area, where we have a lot of expats around here, but I have my seclusion here. And, here where I live way down back from the road. So you don't hear a lot of road noise here. You might hear a little bit in the background here, but there's not a lot of noise here. We actually live really, really close to the mayor here, and it's very peaceful and quiet here. And this is like a little secret. If you look for places in heavily populated areas that are like little nooks of peace and quiet. When I first seen this place, I love this place. It's a great place. I love staying here. I love the peace and quiet here. I love the fact that my house is all fixed up the way I want it. You know, and it's just me and Justin that live here. Basically, we're the only two renters here. The other two places we use for other stuff. You know, and we like having that peace here. You know, we don't want to have other people moving in here and, you know, wrecking our little thing here. And the Filipinos that live around here actually are quite peaceful. They're very good people. We love the people that are around us. Our neighbors are great. They look out for us. We look out for them. They got great kids. There's no roosters in the area that are cock-a-doodle doing all the time. We hear a few off in the background or whatever. But it's a choice that you make where you go. Now, I have a lot of expats stop by here because they know where I live. They come by here and knock on my door and visit or whatever. And you know, that's okay. I tell people, try to at least let me know that you're coming before you come. Don't just show up, because we have a lot of expats that jump on a bus from Manila, believe it or not, and just show up on my doorstep because they just do. So it's just like, wow, okay, you know. And I don't know how they find out about all this, you know, where I live or anything, but they find out and they know. And you know, it's a choice we make, you know. And my place here, it's so quiet down back here. It's incredible. I mean, I'm blessed in so many ways here because of what I have here. And, you know, make sure you find your blessings too, because when, you know, this places out there that are gated communities, that like Hope Residences and Tracy Montero's, places like that you can go to, and you can live there. You know, it's a beautiful place. And there's also other places over in Tagaytay. Wynn Residences is also another place. It's very, very cheap. But I want to add this too. Tagaytay has its own issues too. Number one is prices. Some of the people that live over there tell me that in Tagaytay that a lot of the expats, when they go to talk to them, they won't even answer them. Now, that's not true with everyone over there, so I'm not going to say that it's true with everyone. Now, remember, there's my disclosure, okay? Because I've been over there and I've said hi to a few people before and never got an answer back. You know, I'm like, okay, all right, I guess that's the way it is over here. Other times I've talked to people, they've talked to me. I think that's pretty much all throughout the Philippines, that you're going to run into people that sometimes they just won't talk to you or answer to you. You know, I remember walking up to a table at the French bakery and talking to some guys there, and they all just stood there and stared at me. And I heard them speak in English before. They all just stood there and stared at me, and I'm like, okay, dudes, okay, you know. And I don't know what their issue was. They're a bunch of older gentlemen. They looked like they were all in their 80s or late 70s, but they just wouldn't answer me. You know, I just walked up to kind of say hi, and I was like, okay, and I just walked away afterwards. Other times I've been in there, I've talked to people in there, and they struck up a conversation with me before I even started. You know, so I mean, it's touch and go when you're dealing with expats. A lot of expats have had a lot of bad experiences here, so they've cut themselves off from expats totally. I don't think that's a good idea. I think you should always pick and choose your friends here and be very careful. I'm lucky that I have a lot of good friends here that if I had a problem, I could call them up and say, hey, can you help me out? Can you give me come over and bring me some food at the hospital or something like that? Or can you hook me up with something or whatever I need or something if I was in the hospital? God forbid that should happen. And I hope that never happens. I never have to come to that, where I have to use somebody else. I don't like using other people to help me. I'm a person, I try to be self-sufficient. I try not to count on other people, and that's the thing is, if you go into an expat community, a lot of people don't want to help other people. They have too many problems of their own, because as we age, we have a lot of issues. But when we need help, we have a lot of issues too, and we need somebody to help us. So you want to make sure you have at least a few friends, and you need some American friends, because they know some things that Filipinos don't know sometimes. And also, like when you're with a girl here, dating a girl or whatever, you don't want to give her too much information, because the girls here, when you go to break off with them, sometimes they tend to use that information for whatever nefarious reasons they have, and it's not always good. So they turn it against you, even though you let them have that information to help you. They try to, burn you with it or whatever. So be really careful what you do here in your choices of where you're staying. I tell people, stay in an area, like I said, it's maybe moderate expats around. but a place that's far away from the expats, far enough away from the expats that you have your own peace there. And maybe you and a friend, another expat, can live there like I do, you know, and you can, you have cabanas like I do, you can have barbecues, you can invite people over, and then when they're gone, you have a nice quiet area there, and it's beautiful. But anyway, guys, I want to talk a little bit about that because I think it's kind of important for you guys to learn the choices that you have here. And I don't want people to think that I'm knocking all these areas. I'm knocking Dumaguete, or I'm knocking Baguio and Angeles. And I've been up by Angeles, and I've been up to Zambales and Subic and places like that. I have not been down to Dumaguete, so I don't want people to think I'm trashing it off no knowledge at all. I am telling you from other people's perspectives, they do not like it, okay? And I do hear from a lot of people, because the sheer amount of people that I see here that pass through here, that get the SRVs with me or whatever, they call me, they talk to me, they tell me the different things that are going on down there, and I go off those people, because if I went down there and just gave you my perspective, that's just one eye, you know, telling you what I saw and what I think, and I might have just had a bad experience there if I went there. I'm telling you from other people's experiences, which is even better. You know, boots on the ground, as they say. You know, when you hear from boots on the ground, those are the best ways to find out about places and hear about places. And that's why I tell people that. And you know, a guy wrote to me and he did say, you know, Steve, you've never been there, you should go down there and experience it yourself or whatever, and, you know, and not trash someplace if you haven't been there. And he was talking about another subscriber that was talking about it too. There's enough videos out there talking about Dumaguete, both good and bad. You can kind of make your own observations off of those. But I think if you're going to go to a place like that, I would not sign a 1-year lease. I would sign maybe a 2 to 3 month lease or whatever. Stay there, see if you like it, give it a chance. If you don't like it, then move on and go someplace else. There's plenty of places outside of there too that you can go to, and around there where other expats move, where there's less expats. And the prices are cheaper too. Remember, wherever there's a lot of expats, it's going to drive up prices of rentals. That's the good thing about Tracy, because we kind of hang out like in one area here. And there are people starting to move into Tracy because of my vlogs and stuff that are moving in here left and right. And they're coming in here and they tend to love this area. Number one, it's kind of quiet. It's kind of peaceful. It's easy to get everywhere. And there's a lot of transportation to everywhere, which is a good thing. Even though we're not really close to the ocean, we're a little close to the ocean. You can go down to the ocean and be there within 45 minutes or something like that on a jeepney or whatever. And that's the good part about it. You can go to Batangas for fairly cheap money. You can rent a van or what have you. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show, guys. Love you guys. Bye.